Welcome to the Ali Family Podcast. If you're new and you appreciate Black love and Black excellence, go ahead and like and subscribe. Here we are back bringing some new information. Some people call it the Black news. I saw that in the comments. We do try to bring that kind of information to you, podcast style, visual style. So here we are. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Yeah. How about you?
Feeling good, continued health, feeling blessed, prosperous. So yeah, the last few episodes, we've been a little heavy on topics. We've talked a lot about verses, so you can check that out if you're interested. We've talked about social audio apps and all different types of social media communities. So definitely you can check those out. Today we're gonna talk about our goals. It's kind of the midpoint in the year, a little bit past the midpoint, but still that point where people have set goals and resolutions that they wanted to achieve for the year. And this is that reflection point. You get a chance to see where you're at, what you've achieved, what's still on your list of things that you want to achieve as we head into the last couple of quarters of the year.
We're going to share with you some tips on how to get and stay motivated.
That's right. Look at it in a few ways, right? You have the goal. In order to get to the goal, you got to have some motivation. Every day, you might not feel the same level of motivation, but that's where those goals come in. You have motivation in the goal. So before you even get to the goal, just to be consistent with that level of motivation. Let's say if you wanted to add a healthy habit to your life. A lot of people talk about wanting to exercise more or wanting to eat healthier or wanting to remove a food from their diet. So different things like that. How do you motivate yourself to be consistent with a healthy habit?
Those examples that you gave, those are exactly some of the examples that I have in my head currently. I've motivated myself to stick with a healthy habit by starting small. I've had a few goals to eliminate certain food. I eliminate the easiest one to eliminate. Or in the beginning, I just ate that a little less frequently. Sometimes it was several times a week. Then I brought it down to just once a week, then once a month sparingly, and then not at all. So after a while, I didn't really miss that food in my diet.
That's a good example. Just starting small, picking something that you feel is achievable. Mm-hmm. So I know for me, actually, I'm gonna pull this out. So for me, I won't go to the specific page, but having a good journal, something that you're actually writing in, that is important. At the beginning of the year, we have something that we do with our goals for the year of just writing them down. I won't give away all the sauce, but we have something special that we do to help keep us accountable. And I think there's a few things in that that's really beneficial. So first, we have each other for the additional accountability. That's a built-in accountability partner. That's huge. Even if it's not something that has been achieved yet, it's still something that we talk about and work towards. We write it down, and it's something that we look at for short-term accomplishments, but also long-term accomplishments, and also things that we want to achieve individually, but also things that we want to achieve together. That was a good example that you mentioned with taking something out of the diet, because originally it's something that we were doing together. And I just got to the point in the year where I figured this is not working for me. I said it because it sounded good and it just wasn't my goal. So that's really a big deal. You have to be honest with yourself and acknowledge if the goal is really your goal, or if it's just something you're saying because it sounds good or something that you've heard somebody else say. So I know for you, you've been able to achieve those goals a lot better because it's something that you really meant and you really felt that you wanted to achieve. For me, it's something that sounds good. Like you hear all of the health experts say these are things that you want to do, but internally it's just not what I wanted to do. So at the end of the day, you can't motivate yourself past something that you just don't want to do. Until it becomes something that you want to do, you're not going to do it. Specifically, if it is something that you want to do, but you are struggling, there are ways where the motivation can kick in for that. You can be motivated to do something that you don't want to do because you just don't feel like doing it that day, but you know it's something that you want to do long term. But if it's something that you just completely don't want to do, then as much motivation that you have in the world, it's not going to make you do it, because there's going to be that piece in you that's just saying, what's the point? I'm doing something that I don't even want to do. Unless it's a job, then you got to go, because that's a responsibility. You got to pay your bills and you got to live somewhere. You got to have food and be able to be responsible. I know a lot of people, they say they don't like their job, but just because you don't like your job doesn't mean that you just quit. As you get older and you really have real responsibilities, that job isn't something that I would apply these tips to. I would apply it to things that you want to accomplish, more considered towards other areas of life. I'm talking about something like working out or eating dairy versus not eating dairy. But there are those specific things that you have to do, even if it's something that you don't want to do. We mentioned a few things. We talked about setting a goal. It does help if that goal is known outside of just yourself. If you just have that goal for yourself, but you don't have it written down anywhere, even if it's not like, you don't have to be old school like me. Like I like to write things down in journals so I can then go back and reference them. But I know some people like to put things in their notes in their phones, which is also cool. Or even you can put it on a board. We do that as well. If you have it on a board or the refrigerator, a sheet of paper, it does add an additional level. I know it's not just in my head. So I've said it, I want to do it, and I'm looking at it somewhere, whether it's on my phone, the sheet of paper, the fridge, the board. So it does add a different level of being visual to keep you accountable. We did that with our vision boards as well. The last 2 years we've done vision boards, and it's the same type of concept. We really thought about the type of goals that we wanted to accomplish, the habits that we wanted to have, what we wanted our life to look like, made it visual, put it down, made it in a place where we can see it. I recommend doing a vision board within the first 2 months of the year, just because you do still have that time where you're really excited about new possibilities of the year. Even close to a birthday is a nice time to also do one, because that is your personal new year. So you have a chance to look and reflect on your last year and think about things that you want to improve. That's what I did recently. I had a birthday, and it really has made me put life into perspective. I want to do things a little bit differently this year. So my new year started, even though we're in midway through the year, but I do think that those times of the year, whether it's birthdays or New Year's, are really great opportunities to just reflect and look at those goals that you've already set that you want to achieve. We have a special benefit of having that joint support and accountability partner. So if you are somebody that doesn't have that and you're looking for an accountability partner, YouTube is a good place. You're in the right place. So if you're looking for that level of motivation, YouTube is full of different types of channels and people, but you can use us as well. Use the comments. Trust me, we look at them. If there's something that you want to do in the comments, you put it there. We will check in with you and hold you accountable. That's one way. In addition to that, social media is also a great way for accountability. There's all different types of challenges that people can do. There's 30-day challenges. Instagram, there's a really good channel. There's a few really great channels on Instagram that put daily motivation, whether it's for the body, the mind. So you can definitely find it through YouTube or other social media avenues if you don't have it in your life. Maybe you have it and you just don't know. There might be a friend that you have that if you just shared a goal with them, that could be somebody that might have a similar goal as well, and you just didn't know that y'all had that similar goal. That's also beneficial to have that person that you can share it with, but if you don't, there's definitely social media as well. So that's beneficial for me. What about you?
I agree. And I think a lot of the social media apps, they have built-in ways to help you achieve your goal. I mentioned the Bible app. They have built-in trackers on how many times you visit the site And that helps to encourage motivation. It's like, wow, I've been on like 5 days in a row. Oh, I don't want to miss today. I don't want to break it and start back at zero.
You just said one thing that made me think about something. You said tracker. We didn't get a chance to specifically say SMART goals are helpful. The T in SMART is trackable. So that's when you said it, it made me think about it. SMART goals are important. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and trackable. What you just mentioned, the tracker and some of those different apps do help. I think some of the apps are probably built off of that SMART goal model as well.
I think absolutely the Bible app probably, because as you just go down each of those characteristics of a SMART goal, specific. There are a few specific things you can do within the app. You can read some scripture, do the reading challenges. These are specific tasks that you can complete. Measurable. You want to read a whole book, they'll break it down so that you only have to read this little bit, this percentage of it per day.
And I know when we do the readings, they have it where you can choose a 7-day, a 10-day, or a 30-day challenge. So those are that's measurable. You know day by day how much you need to do to make it to that end goal.
You can complete anything within 1 to 10 minutes, depending on what task you choose.
Achievable or attainable.
Yeah.
Some people like to say attainable or achievable, but it means the same thing.
Realistic. You can realistically spend 5 minutes and complete that day's goal. The Bible app connects to SMART goals.
One thing that's also real is sometimes you have to take a break. For a few of those goals, I either just ended because I reached that point where it just wasn't realistic to me, or took a break just because there was a time of the year that I knew I wasn't going to be able to stay consistent with that goal, but it's still something that I wanted to achieve long term. So for example, I'm going to bring up my birthday again. Birthdays and holidays are some of the toughest times for people that have goals that are specifically related to eating, whether it's something that you're trying to remove from your diet. Some of mine, removing dairy, decreasing the sugar amount during the birthday. It's tough. You want cake. We have some really great non-dairy ice creams that we enjoy. Big shout out to Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's, if you see this, you might need to work something out because I promise you Ben & Jerry's has the best non-dairy ice cream selection that you'll find anywhere. At birthdays, you find yourself wanting to go out to eat a little bit, celebrate, go out somewhere that you might not have been in a while, eat some food that you might not have eaten maybe since the last year of your birthday. And those are some of the things that happened with us recently. We went out to a few different places that we haven't been to in over a year and just got a chance to enjoy and celebrate the ambiance. And the pause is over, and now it's time to just get back on that goal. I pretty much knew coming into my birthday that I was gonna do some of the things that I hadn't been doing throughout the year, but it's out of my system, and now I'm ready to go back after it hard for the rest of the year. There's a difference between it being something that I knew I was gonna pause, just versus something that I pretty early on knew I wasn't gonna do. Back to our topic. So first, before we get into the tips, it can be for us as a couple or individually, but what's a goal that you've achieved recently?
First of all, if anyone from the Bible app is watching us, please pay us. One of our goals at the beginning of the year was to utilize the Bible app for X amount of days for the year. And so I've achieved that goal. This year I opened the Bible app and read the Bible X amount of days already for the year. So I'm very proud of that.
Nice.
Thanks. So what's a goal that you've achieved recently?
I will take the collective goal and I will collaborate them and just say social media domination. Beginning of the year, I had a chart that listed out YouTube and Instagram specifically. More recently, we wanted to also add Twitter to that. The beginning of the year, I had charted down that I wanted to have us reach X amount on Instagram, X amount on YouTube, X amount on a platform on Twitter. We recently hit that goal for Twitter for the access to Twitter Spaces. For Fanbase, which was a new app that we didn't even know about at the time of those goals. We've talked about Fanbase before, but Fanbase, it's a place for creatives, a Black-owned app by Isaac Hayes III. We had an opportunity pretty early to test it out while it was still in its beta form, and also to make an investment in it just because we believe in the app. Look at other apps and just look at those rounds of investment and realize that as Black people, those rounds of investment aren't always typically open to us. We really had that opportunity with Fanbase to get in early during the investing round, and the benefits of investing just came around. We are blue check verified on Fanbase. One blue check on a social media app typically allows it to be easier for you to gain blue check verification on other apps. So we will explore looking into blue check verification on Twitter and Instagram as well. And then for YouTube, we reached the 300 subscriber milestone. So our goal was 1,000 subscriptions by this year, kind of at the halfway point of the year, but the third of the goal. So we have to turn up a little bit more. We're a little behind on the goal. But yeah, those are some really cool recent celebrations. And the goal for Instagram for the year, we're actually ahead of right now. So it's looking really good for that goal. Outside of the Bible app, are there any other goals that you want to look at for the rest of the year? Or anything that you've accomplished already, or things that you set early in the year that you might not have fully accomplished but are in the works?
Yes, the whole eating healthier, that's still in process.
That's a joint one, so it's not just you, that's a B as well. Eating healthier is a big one for me, but also just getting more outside during the times while we can be outside is big for me, so I want to be more active and get outside, especially during the summer. I think in addition to the health one for me, I will go back to social media. By December, I want to be looking at those goals being accomplished for sure. Instagram and YouTube, those are the top two. We will accomplish those by or before December. Definitely better health, better eating. And I will also add a commitment to being outside. If it's summertime, fall time, or winter time, I will make that commitment to getting outside more. Health and prosperity for everyone so that we all can be in the places that we want to be. It's not just physical, it's mental. Just mentally having this outside time is so crucial. So if you're in a place where you can get out and experience it, definitely get outside, take some of that time, use this as motivation to go to a park, get some fresh air, places where there might not be a whole bunch of people, but you know you might be able to find some quiet time to just be with your thoughts and just think. My place is the beach. I don't even get out the car sometimes. Just driving up to the beach, sitting in the car, looking at the water, that's definitely one of my peaceful places. Now that we mentioned that, the mental connection to achieving goals is probably bigger than the physical part. It's not just physically you're gonna work out more or physically you're gonna eat the right foods. It's mental. You're resetting your way of thinking. It's a mental reset. Even a habit is mental. It takes 21 days to create a new habit based on the things that you're setting yourself to do each day. So if mentally you tell yourself, I'm going to do something different, or you think different and you think about new opportunities and ways to do it, you're already setting yourself up for success. In addition to just the physical aspect of reaching those goals, it is also mental. The times that I feel more drained and tired are the times where it is more of a struggle, because it's not my body feels tired, it's just I'm mentally feeling tired, and then I have to build myself up to just get to that point where I feel like I can do it. It's not even my body not being able to do it, it's my mind saying that my body can't do it. One wellness tip for the mental, we've shared some tips, we've shared what we're trying to do. So a mental tip that will help, going back to this, for me, writing is something that I know I can consistently do more of, and it really helps. It releases my creativity. Sometimes I feel like I get creatively blocked when I'm not able to go outside. It's also something that's consistently there. So being outside is my number one, but if I can't get outside and do that, writing would be my number two. What about you?
It might be similar. Having a visual cue to remind you of what your goal is and remind you that it's attainable. Well, if it's weight loss, put up a cute picture of yourself where you were your goal weight and you were looking good. It's attainable. You can get back to that. For example, if it's to eat better, get a picture of a nice plate that you had of good, healthy food that you really enjoyed. Remind yourself that you can eat like that more often.
Hold the phone. I'm gonna actually take this back. My number one tip that I did last year that's really helped me. If you have an iPhone, I'm specifically talking to my iPhone users. Okay, you take your iPhone, your first screen that you look at, no apps. So you move all of your apps off your home screen. Your home screen, you should have a picture of something that motivates you as that picture on your home screen. So for me, it is my life, right? That is a huge part of my motivation. Family and God, hand in hand, but huge levels of motivation in my life. So I cleared out my screen. That's the first thing I see when I look at my phone. And then I swipe over, and then I have all my apps. I can look at my apps. They're not going anywhere. But that's the biggest thing. Just because we do pick up our phone so much, sometimes your phone is the first thing you see at the beginning of the day and the last thing you see before you go to bed. So what not a better place to put that picture of your motivation right there for you. You can always swipe and get your apps. Trust me, I promise you this will add to your mental. It has added to mine. So I did want to just add that as a bonus tip.
Just for the record, you, as you know, you're on my home screen too. But I just wanted the people to know that too.
Yes, we are both on each other's home screen for sure. And have you done anything to celebrate that accomplishment of where you're at, the Bible at, and that progress compared to last year?
I haven't, but I feel good about it. It's been fun, actually, learning more, learning new things, and it's entertaining.
Okay. Hey, I'm with it. The goals are pretty fresh with the social media, so I haven't really had the opportunity to celebrate just yet. We're not 100% at the goal, but we are planning something special for a celebration. We did some celebrations when we reached the 100 and 200. We're gonna hold off on any more celebrations within our video until we reach that final goal, just because we are planning something pretty big and we want it to be a nice surprise for that 1,000 subscription celebration and for it to happen this year in 2021. And with that, we will wrap up. We will end just by reminding you once again, if you enjoyed what you heard, if you appreciate Black love and Black excellence, make sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. You'll be seeing a lot more shorter videos from us, like the last one that we put out. We got some really good feedback in the comments that this new video format is working pretty well. Just to give you a sneak peek, we will be highlighting some Black brands, some Black businesses. Our next episode, lots of people are doing some great things out there. Brands, businesses all across America, all across the world. Lots of Black excellence out there. So our next video will be to highlight some of the people that we've seen, some of the people that we've noticed through social media, through social audio apps, people that are doing amazing things out there. We'll definitely highlight. We'll do a product review as well, so we'll highlight one of those brands specifically. You see this and you want to have your business highlighted or just promoted, feel free to just send us a DM or email. You can find that information in the description.
Thank you all for watching. Again, please like, comment, subscribe. Stay blessed.